Mute my audio.
How's that, Mike? Can you hear me? Mike, can you hear me? Okay.
All right, we'll call the meeting to order at 6 o'clock. Would everyone please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance? I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Sweet. Like it.
Roll call.
Thank you, Mayor. Let the record reflect that all council members are present with the exception of Councilmember Bagby, and Councilmember Wolter is joining us live from Philadelphia area.
Thank you. And he was properly posted with the agenda?
Correct.
Okay. Any conflict of interest declarations from anyone? I can't see Councilmember Wolter. Can you see him on your screen, Mike? Yeah, we changed my view. Oh, I can kind of see. There he is. I see him on there. There we go. Beautiful. Thank you. And then do we have any changes or deletions to the agenda?
Good evening, Mayor, members of council. We understand there's a lot of items on consent. In the previous meeting, council took up an ordinance regarding council member compensation, and I think, Mayor, at that time you registered a no vote. If your interest is in continuing your no vote, I would recommend you move that item up to E2 so that the vote can be taken separately prior to certification of the general election. If you take the vote after certification, it would be necessary to move to new business with the new council.
Thank you. Yep. All right. B, public comments. Any person wishing to speak in person on an item not listed on the agenda may do so at this time. Pursuant to the Brown Act, the City Council is not allowed to consider issues or take action on any item not listed on the agenda. 3 minutes are typically allotted to each speaker. Do we have anyone in the public that would like to make a public comment? Seeing one coming down. Good evening, Nina.
Hello, everyone. Good evening. My name is Nina Hanchat. I'm the Executive Director of the Cloverdale Chamber. I promise you this is going to take way less than 3 minutes. So, conclusion of an era. Thank you, David, for your guidance and your never-ending support of the Chamber's efforts on the city's behalf. Your spirit of teamwork and collaboration will long be remembered. Many thanks, way too many to recount this evening. Best wishes in all of your future endeavors. I know Melanie's not here, but I have a thank you for her too, for her ceaseless chamber and personal support, and being an all-weather friend. Welcome back, council member and former member. Well, I don't know if you're former member. I'm former mayor or not, Mayor Lands. You have also been a chamber friend, volunteer, and supporter. We look forward to continuing our work with you and with the council. Newly minted council member Lasky. Well, almost newly minted, sorry. Welcome aboard. If there's anything the chamber can help you with, we're at your service always. Merry Christmas, happy holidays to each of you on the dais. Hopefully we'll see you at Friday's Winter Festival, rain or shine.
Hopefully shine. Daniel?
Good evening, Daniel Frankston, Cloverdale. I just beg your indulgence for a couple of minutes. I wanted to thank you, Mayor, and congratulate you, Mayor Lands, for your reelection. I also want to congratulate Councilmember-elect Lasky. And I think all of you deserve a congratulations for the passage of CC and Double D. I know it took a bit of a push to get the latter one done, and I'm glad to see that it went forward. And I would encourage Councilmember Walter and you as well, Mayor Lands, to remain on the Budget and Finance Committee. I know Councilmember Walter, you were instrumental in setting forth the edicts for how that money should be spent, the tax money, and I want you there on the Budget Committee to make sure that that money gets spent as it was indicated it would be, and also appreciate your work and continued work and getting our budget deficit taken care of. I think those are all really important things. I also want to commend and congratulate Kevin for his new position. But mostly I really wanted to thank David for the work that he's put in. When I came here, one of the first people that I met was David when we had our interview process. And I remember it was Valentine's Day 2017. And I walked into the room, and just to see somebody there that was warm and receptive and not only knowledgeable, but also very approachable. And I think that's a really good quality to have in a city manager. It's not an easy job. It wasn't until later that I realized, hey, if there's something minor like a traffic lights that are out of sync down south, or there's something major like streets that need to be repaired, the public gets on the city manager. Well, as it turns out, if there's something like those same things, he hears it from the city council as well. So he's got to really take it from both sides. And I really think you did a great job, David, and I appreciate that. And Kevin, you've got some big shoes to fill. And I'm looking forward to working with you over the next couple of years. With regards to DD, I would encourage you to get that citizen committee put up quickly. I'm going to start paying on April 30th. I've got a tax bill that's due that's going to come to the city of Cloverdale. And I think it's important that the citizens be on board from day one in order to make that happen. So, and finally, I do want to thank Melanie Bagby for the time that she spent and her effort here on the council. I think when it comes to the views, Melanie was right on the money, whether it's for dealing with the rent ordinance for mobile homes or the amount of taxes we should be adding to sales tax. I was very much in accord with Melanie, and I appreciate the work she put in on the council and also the work that she put in to bring Cloverdale out into the public. She did a lot of work working with the county, working with the various Bay Area regional transit authorities, and working with the state to really help get Cloverdale back on the map. And I really appreciate her for those efforts as well. So anyway, I want to wish you all a very happy holidays. I look forward to working with you all next year, and I look forward to having Mark on board as well. Thank you.
Thank you, Daniel. Is there anyone else in the audience that'd like to make a public comment? Seeing none, do we have any written comments, Michael, that came across email?
Yes, we do have two on there. I don't know if staff wants to address them or not, but
Want to read them out loud or no?
no. They're available online if folks want to read them.
Perfect, thank you. All right, we'll go on to C, the student liaison report.
Mr. Mayor, just for the record, there is no one at my location for public comment either.
Thank you, it's very good to know, and thank you, sir, appreciate that. Iada, welcome.
Hello.
Thanks for joining us.
Thank you.
We're back today, so that's a good thing.
It was cross country.
Cross country.
It's okay. Track comes in the spring.
That's right. All right, you have a report for us?
Yes. In the last 3 weeks, the Jefferson's PTA was able to partner up with Parkside Christian, the Bridge Foursquare, the LD's Church, and Living Water were able to provide lunches and treats for the whole staff the whole week during Parent-Teacher Conference Week. Also, students are learning about empathy and compassion during their SEL lessons. They will start their winter break on December 23rd and will return on January 6th at the Jefferson. At the middle school on November 19th, they had their annual turkey run in which any student, no matter the grade, can participate when it's their turn, since they separated by each grade, and the top 2 finishers and a randomly selected student received a turkey. At the high school, students who have been offered free after-school tutoring to help students who need help and be able to improve their grades since finals are next week starting Tuesday. As we enter this month, winter sports have begun and are doing an amazing job of trying their hardest while playing. Lastly, yesterday during advisory, the seniors got to go to the East Gym and decorate cookies as a celebration.
You so much.
Thank you.
All right, we're moving on to E, the consent calendar. All items under the consent calendar will be considered together by one action of the City Council unless any council member or member of the public requests that an item be removed and considered separately. As City Manager Kelly stated, I'm going to be pulling item E11, and it will be taken first over the rest of them if you don't mind. Any other items you'd like to pull? No. Anyone in the public would like to pull an item off of our consent calendar? Seeing none, we will go on to E11. It's the ordinance increasing council member compensation.
Thank you, Mayor. If you want just a brief report, this was council compensation is regulated by state law. And
By who?
and it sets maximums based on city size. And at the last council meeting, the council voted to introduce an ordinance. And this is a second reading to adopt it. It will go into effect 30 days from now after the new council has taken its seat.
Thank you, sir. The reason I've pulled this item is we're in a budget deficit, and I think it's bad timing for the council to be giving themselves a raise with the amount, even though what we get is very minuscule, it's still something that I just felt that it's the wrong time. However, I support my council knowing that this is going to move forward. So with that, any other comments from council? Anyone from the public would like to make a comment on this item? Seeing none, we'll bring it back to the dais and do a roll call vote, please. Do we have to have one on this? Okay. Anyone? Motion.
I second the motion.
All right, we have a motion and a second.
Sadly, I need you to read out that motion by title.
We're doing Motion by title, read by title only, an ordinance of the City Council of the City of Cloverdale amending Chapter 2.04.010 compensation for council members of the Cloverdale Municipal Code.
I'll second that, Mr. Mayor.
Vice Mayor.
Second still stands.
Oh, my second still stands.
I got a first and a second. I'll start with the motioner. Councilmember Wheeler, or Vice Mayor Wheeler.
Aye.
Councilmember Morgenstern.
Aye.
Councilmember Wolter.
Aye.
I got a yes on that. And Mayor Lance.
Nay. Passes 3-1. We're good with that?
Got it.
Then we're going to move on to the rest of the consent calendar. If there's nothing to pull, does anyone have a motion for items 1 through 10?
And Mayor, if I may, before you vote on it, the Brown Act requires that I give an oral report on the item regarding senior staff compensation. And so just a quick overview of that item. As the council knows, we've gone through doing the labor negotiations and labor agreements with all of our groups, and then the unrepresented employees, and now senior staff is the last one. So senior staff will be getting a 4% cost of living adjustment this year, 3.5 3%, excuse me, next year. The city manager will be getting a 3.5% cost of living increase this year, 3% next year. Both of those are retroactive to July 1st, just like they were for all of the other employees. There will be a change in healthcare to benchmark it to the EPO 500 plan. In exchange for that, the city will be creating employee-owned health retirement accounts and making contributions at various levels, $500 per year for someone who's a single employee. There is a slight change in the vacation accrual schedule. After 10 years of service, there will be some increased levels of accrual. Their employees, senior staff is also now allowed to sell back 100 hours of vacation per year. There's an increase in the cap on on sick leave that they can receive per year, up to 2,000 hours per year. That's the same as other employees get. And there's a slight change in the longevity pay, for longer years of service after an employee has been here 10 to 15 years. There are a number of other things that are in this plan that are consistent with other employee groups get, or what these senior staff are already getting. So with that, I'll turn it back to you, Mayor.
Thank you, Alex. I'll entertain a motion.
Motion to approve.
I second that motion.
All right, any comments or questions from anyone on this? Questions or comments from anyone in the audience on any of the other items on the consent calendar? Seeing none, roll call, please.
Thank you, Mayor. Councilmember Wheeler, or Vice Mayor Wheeler?
Aye.
Councilmember Morgenstern?
Aye.
Councilmember Wolter?
Aye.
Got an eye on there. Mayor Lance?
Aye. Passes 4-0. Thank you.
I wonder why they're not hearing me on their end.
We'll move on to F, proclamations. First one is F1, a service recognition for City Manager Kelly. Would you like to read that?
Yeah, absolutely. We get all set up here. A proclamation of the City Council of the City of Cloverdale honoring David Kelly for his dedicated public service. Whereas David Kelly served as Assistant City Manager, Community Development Director for the City of Cloverdale from February 2016 to March 2018, at which time he was appointed City Manager. And whereas, despite limited resources and challenging economic times, David led the city to a position of financial stability while maintaining high-quality services for residents and fostering economic growth. And whereas David was instrumental in the successful passage of 3 critical ballot measures: Measure R, Utility User Tax; Measure CC, Urban Growth Boundary; and Measure DD, Sales Tax, ensuring vital financial resources for the city's future. And whereas David demonstrated exemplary leadership and provided guidance and resilience through multiple emergencies and crises, including the Tubbs, Nuns, Pocket, Kincaid, and Walbridge fires, multiple flood and storm events, the COVID-19 pandemic, and a severe drought. And whereas David contributed significantly to the development of parks and open spaces in Cloverdale, overseeing the grand opening of the Cloverdale Dog Park, the Porterfield Creek Open Space, the acquisition of Soda Springs Ranch, and considerable enhancements to existing city parks. And whereas David was advocate for continuously enhancing communications with council, residents, businesses, and stakeholders by way of the city's newsletter and Cloverdale Connect articles. And his commitment to the transparency created an environment of trust and informed decision-making throughout the organization, further strengthening the relationship between council, staff, and the community. And whereas David's ability to analyze complex issues and communicate them clearly to council, staff, and the public continuously fostered understanding, collaboration, and innovative solutions. And whereas David's numerous contributions to the city and community of Cloverdale, marked by his tireless work ethic, intelligence, and dedication to public service, have left a lasting impact on the organization, both internally with staff and the services they provide. And now, therefore, it be resolved that that the City Council, City of Cloverdale, expresses its deepest gratitude and appreciation to David Kelly for his outstanding contributions and significant achievements during his tenure with the city, and commends his exemplary service on behalf of the citizens of Cloverdale. Be it further resolved that the City Council of the City of Cloverdale congratulates David Kelly on the next chapter, wishes him continued success in his future endeavors.
Dated December 11th, 2024. Comments?
I just wanted to thank David Kelly for his service to the city of Cloverdale and wish you all good things in the future.
David, thank you. I mean, Cloverdale would not be where it's at right now without your guidance, leadership, and most of all is dealing with all the council. Different council members, I should say. You know, we come in, you're always receptive. We can always come in and whether we're going at it or we're actually discussing some, it's fine. At the end of the day, you know, we leave it in your office, we make a decision, and we move on. And I appreciate how welcoming you were in your office, and congratulate you on those accomplishments. The fires, the floods, these are not hard. And taking calls from council members early morning, late at night, I mean, it's a 24/7 deal. So I really appreciate it. Thank you very much. And I really do sincerely wish you, luck in whatever you decide to do right now. And don't be a stranger.
Well, oh, sorry, Gus.
We have another council.
Go ahead, Gus.
Mr. Mayor, did you call on me?
Yes, sir. Please go ahead.
Okay, thank you. I'm sorry. David, I've had the privilege of knowing you well before you came to work with the city of Cloverdale. And I remember when I first heard that you were going to be joining Paul Kaler as his assistant, I was really excited because I did have that opportunity to work with you at Windsor, and I knew your dedication to the job and to getting things done with the yes, I can attitude. So as I've said to you over the last few weeks, I'm really going to miss you. I welcome the opportunity to work with Kevin. I've already booked my flight. I'm coming back to Cloverdale on the 6th of January, and I wouldn't be surprised if I gave you a call that week to get together for a cup of coffee. I really hope that you're not a stranger and we can continue the friendship that we've had, because I like bouncing things off of you. You always have a fresh perspective on things, and I appreciate that. Best of luck, and my best to Heather putting up with you, being around the house all the time. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Chief?
Over the years, it's been my pleasure to work with you. You can have managers that are, just go do the job and get out of my face. You're the type of manager that really actually cared about the job, cared about the people that work for you, which is one of the reasons why I took the job as chief. Of course, we had a conversation when Paul Kaler and you in your office when you were assistant city manager, and I told you, well, if you don't take the job, who's going to work for you? Who are you going to work for? You never know who you're going to get. Well, come when Ferguson was retiring, he said the same to me. I wish you the best, and you can call me if you need anything. You got to come up so we can do coffee and lunch, and I'll come down to Geyserville and visit you. And to Kevin, it is like council member said, it's a 24/7 job. I'm just saying. Yeah. I look forward to working with you, Kevin, and so thank you. Appreciate it.
I haven't been with the city very long, but in my short time here, I have enjoyed very much working with David. He brought me on and guided me through adjusting into the public sector, and he just has such a wealth of knowledge about everything. He's in this group, a handful of people where when he's in a room full of experts, he makes those experts question their commitment to their field. just because he's so well versed in so many things that he has done in his life and has to do with his job. So I really appreciate him, partaking that knowledge on me and helping me in this transition. And he will be missed. So, and then I do like Kevin. He's a great guy, and I'm so glad that he's taken the position. So he's great to work with.
Well, Mayor, council members, I gave a speech at the employee appreciation party, and I just really have learned so much from David. And I've known him a long time. We worked in Windsor together, so I've been learning from him for years, and I could just strive to learn know as much as he does. And I really believe he's leaving Cloverdale in a much better place than when he started. And I just want to thank you personally, David, for teaching me so much stuff, and I hope, setting me up to be successful in my new role.
I'll just add, Derek mentioned, you're an expert on so many things, and that's what you have to be when you're a city manager of a small city, and it's just been a pleasure to work with you.
I'll add really quick before you get to comment speech. I came to the city, like I said last meeting, really excited to work here, and I'm glad I did. I think that I've been in the public sector for over 20 years, and I've had a lot of supervisors in many departments. I've never seen a director, let alone a city manager, care as much as you do about an organization, and I think it speaks volumes to the culture that we've built in Cloverdale with our staff, at least in the time that I've been here. And I thank you a lot, because you've taught me a lot. It's been fun working next to you. Our offices are in screaming distance of each other, but I just really appreciate it. You've done a lot for the city, and I don't think that a proclamation or any award can really show how much that we care and how much dedication you show to this city. So just want to say thank you from my office.
David, I think the hardest job is keeping council members happy. You have 5 council members with different personalities, and chance of 2 to 3 of them to flip every 2 years with new and bright ideas coming in your office. And I'm pretty sure that I scared you the first day I came in, or when I was chosen to be on council. You probably went, "Oh crap!" And I'm sure it was, or a little even more than that. I think we've had a really good working relationship. You have been nothing but amazing when it comes to the accuracy and the information. And the 2 words I've never seen you use in 9 years is no or can't. You've always had a yes attitude, and you've been willing to work hard to find the answers, whether it's us texting you at 10 o'clock at night or 5 in the morning, or an emergency happens, or we're dumping rock in the river trying to save wells at the city water treatment plant or water plant. So you're always there. You've always taken care of everything. You've set up the EOCs, set up the command centers. You've been just instrumental for Cloverdale over the past 9 years, and wherever you land, they're lucky to have you, and you're going to be missed in Cloverdale. So thank you for your time. Now, is there anyone in the public who would like to make any public comments? I'll give everyone that opportunity right now.
Janie Lyons, City of Cloverdale. David, thank you. Appreciate all of the hard work and effort that you have put in over the years, and have really relished the professionalism that you have brought to the job and your steadfastness in maintaining that kind of solid, even keel for a small town like Cloverdale, and have always appreciated as well your open ear towards listening to climate and sustainability issues and how we can bring some of that forward and do some of the good work here in the town. Thank you.
Seeing none, David, could we get a photo with you with this?
Sign it.
Oh, turn on your light.
You can join.
How do you keep all the cities straight? Isn't it kind of just going together? It's like this fight.
Nope, here it comes. Big time.
Ever.
They all have their own little person.
And Mayor, if I may just offer
Please, I'd
a
love it.
few comments. Just noticing, I think the proclamation maybe missed one thing. It's whereas his hair has grayed substantially.
Remember that.
In all seriousness, I want to say thank you to the council for your recognition tonight. That it means a lot. Certainly, we'll reflect on this this evening and this proclamation for the remainder of my life, and hopefully, it's a long life that I get to live and enjoy at this point. I also want to thank the previous council members that I had the opportunity to work with and who trusted me to serve in this position. I feel like it was a true honor to be able to serve the community, serve our residents. I did it out of a commitment to all of you and your safety and your health and your well-being. And I will continue that in my new role as a citizen. So I want to say to council, please behave because I'll still be here. But I do look forward to my new role as a resident and citizen. It's been a long ride. I think we've had 9 federally declared disasters since I've been on board. So it's been, when I look back, I think, gosh, I would have really enjoyed the opportunity to do a lot more things. Unfortunately, we were often deterred by fires, floods, pandemic, you name it. It seems like all those things you learned about when you were going to college that you thought would never happen in your lifetime. They all happened in a very short period of time. And there's a lot of challenges that certainly will lie ahead. I want to give accolades to Kevin in this new role. I don't think there's big shoes to fill. I think there's just going to be a lot of challenges, as there always has been and will continue to be. And I will be here to provide support to Kevin as I can, as well as this council. I'm not going away. I live nearby, and I do very much want to see this community continue to grow and thrive in a healthy manner. So I wish this community the very best. I hope I left it in good position as best as I could. And I look forward to continuing those relationships with all of you in your roles. And most certainly, Councilmember Walter, I'll be available for coffee. So I look forward to that. So thank you again. And gosh darn it, Chief, you convinced me to do something that I didn't really want to do, but thank you for being on the ride with me, and I wish you well in your future endeavors as well. So thank you.
All right. We'll move on to F2, the service recognition of Councilmember Bagby. Even though she chose not to be here tonight, we are going to read the proclamation. The proclamation honoring Melanie Bagby for her service to the community of Cloverdale as a mayor and Cloverdale City Council member from 2016 to 2024. Whereas Melanie Bagby has honorably served the city of Cloverdale as a member of the city council for 8 years, from 2016 to 2024, including her dedicated service as mayor in 2019. Whereas Melanie has provided exemplary leadership on the Cloverdale City Council, dedicating her time, knowledge, and expertise to advance the interests of Cloverdale's residents and foster a stronger, more resilient community. Whereas in addition to her responsibilities on the City Council, including her term as mayor, Melanie Bagby has represented Cloverdale on various regional and statewide boards, including her service on the Board of Directors for Sonoma Clean Power, Sonoma Marin Area Rail Transit, or SMART, the Sonoma County Transportation Authority, Regional Climate Protection Authority, the Northern Sonoma County Air Pollution Control District, and the Sonoma County Legislative Committee. Whereas Melanie was appointed to the board of the Great Redwood Trail Agency, where she has been instrumental in advancing the multi-use rail-to-trail project that will connect Cloverdale's San Francisco and Humboldt Bays, creating an invaluable outdoor resource for recreation, tourism, and conservation. Whereas Melanie also served on the board of directors of the California League of Cities, now known as Cal Cities, where she contributed as vice chair of the Governance, Transparency, and Labor Relations Policy Committee, as well as the Transportation, Communications, and Public Works Policy Committee, championing important issues and policies. And whereas Melanie was a key advocate in the passage of SB 1, California's landmark transportation funding measure, providing critical resources for state and local transportation infrastructure improvements, thereby supporting the safety and efficiency of California's transportation network. And whereas Melanie's work extended to the League's Public Safety Task Force, where she actively contributed to policy discussions and initiatives aimed at strengthening public safety in California's cities. Whereas Melanie has represented the City of Cloverdale and the Redwood Empire Division on various commissions, demonstrating a steadfast commitment to collaboration across jurisdictions for the betterment of Sonoma County and its communities. And whereas Melanie's contributions have strengthened the city's voice and position within these boards and enhanced regional cooperation on issues including clean energy, transportation, environmental protection, and air quality. Now, therefore, be it resolved that we, the City Council of Cloverdale, hereby recognize and extend our heartfelt appreciation to Melanie Bagby for her outstanding service and dedication over 8 years, including her leadership as mayor in 2019. Dated December 11th, 2024.
Okay. Mr. Mayor? No.
I just would like to thank Melanie Bagby for her service and everything she's done for Cloverdale, and including all her regional work that she's done, which has been great.
Same thing. Melanie was a huge advocate for Cloverdale and an asset to every community or every person in the community. She worked her tail off for all of the regional boards, attended a lot of or most of the regional boards, brought back good information, then implemented. So I want to thank Melanie for her dedication. This is a 24-hour job. You're constantly doing something. You're talking to David, you're talking to Kevin, you're talking to the chief of police, you're talking to everybody up here trying to move Cloverdale forward. So Melanie, thank you for your service and good luck in the future.
Anyone else over here? Chief?
Yes, Mr. Mayor.
Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead, Councilmember Walter.
Oh, thank you, Mr. Mayor. I just want to thank Melanie for her years of public service to the city of Cloverdale, not only as a city council member, but as a planning commissioner. When Melanie was chair of the planning commission, and I think I've got this right, she was instrumental in guiding the city forward on its first urban growth boundary. She was also very instrumental in redoing the general plan, along with the late Bob Jordan. They served together on the planning commission. And then, of course, we all know that when she was serving as a city council member, she was instrumental in a lot of things. The one thing that I'll always, she may not admit it, but give her credit for, is the dog park. And working with SMART to get that approved, in addition to the Soda Creek open space district I know Melanie did a lot of work on both of those projects, and for that I thank you. And as always, Melanie, I'm gonna offer the invitation to you. Give me a call anytime after the 6th of January. I'd like to get together and have a cup of coffee with you and talk about how much you've done for the city. Thank you.
Thank you. There you go. I just want to thank you for your service, Melanie. I remember when you started in 2016, you came up to the police department and came up to the patrol room, and with the officer standing around, you wanted to answer questions, and no one would ask a question, but I did. I threw the questions out at you, and you answered all of my questions. And you were a Star Wars fan, so how can you go wrong there, right? So thank you for your service. It was my pleasure to work with you over the years. And again, if you need anything, feel free to call. Take care.
On this side.
Thank you, Mayor, members of council, for the opportunity to comment. I've had the opportunity to work with Councilmember Bagby for most of my tenure. Really appreciated her collegial and thoughtful approach to pretty significant policy issues. And you really want to call out her advocacy on transportation-related issues, in particular her role on SCTA and at the League for SB1 funding. Had a lot of conversations about how we address what are some significant transportation issues for our members of our community, and she was always a tireless advocate on all levels for addressing those issues. And I know she cares a lot about our seniors and how they are able to have opportunities for transport to medical care and other needs. So it's been a pleasure, Councilmember. I wish you the very best in the future.
Just add, in addition to what everyone has said, it's hard to be a council member. Like, I would certainly never run for public office. It's a full-time job for which you're paid very, very little. And for someone like Melanie to be so dedicated to it for so long is very admirable. And, I'm sure the city will miss her input and ideas and, dedication. So.
Just want to thank Councilmember Bagby for her work on the Great Redwood Trail, which I think is just a really, really cool project. It's going to really all come together here in Cloverdale with the Smart Trail, and then going north from here. It's going to be an amazing project, and I just want to thank her for her work on that.
Alex nailed it. This is a huge time commitment, and it takes a lot to be on the city council. The second you put your name on the dotted line, you're in the line of fire. And if you don't believe me, check social media. It happens every day. However, Melanie has done it for about 12 years now, and she's done it very well and at a high caliber. She helped us with a lot of projects. And even though we wouldn't always take the same road, we always had the same conclusion, and we always had a lot of the same places we wanted to be with our ideas, but it just, we always went different directions to get there. And I really appreciate her thoughts. I appreciate her discussions that we've had together, and her time commitment to this. And so she will be missed here with all her knowledge. She had a lot of connections through the county and the state, and if you see the Press Democrat, there was probably never a picture from the county working that she wasn't part of and in that picture. So she was always there and always busy doing things for Cloverdale. So I thank her for that. Is there anyone in the audience who'd like to make a public comment regarding this? Reese, you'll have to turn the microphone on. Mike, can you help her?
Okay. Reese Foxon, resident of Cloverdale. First of all, I only wanted to walk down here once, so thank you, David. I appreciate what you've done. But getting on to Melanie, I've known her for a long time, 20, 25 years. And I have watched her contribute to Cloverdale incredibly deeply. I mean, she has done so much for moving Cloverdale forward, for getting us out there in not only the county, but the state, for getting people to understand the small community issues, as well as developing relationships for Cloverdale that did not exist before she came on board. And I am hoping that they continue to exist, although I don't know. But in any case, I just appreciate her strong work and her love of Cloverdale and her willingness to do what she's done over all these years in moving Cloverdale forward. So thank you, Melanie. I hope you're listening out there someplace. So thank you. Bye.
Jane Elias, City of Cloverdale. Thank you as well, Melanie. I really appreciate all of your dedication and for furthering appointment of the RCPA's Community Climate Action Committee. I'm one of the representatives for the city. Then Melanie put that appointment forward along with, we have 2 places on that committee. And I just also appreciate, the tireless, effortless work that she has done for all of the county and regional boards and state boards as well, with the League of Cities. Those are some big shoes to fill, and I really hope the city council continues, the new city council continues that effort to keep this city on the map and moving us forward in so many ways that she's done over the years. Not just city council, but yes, also on the planning commission. She was on the economic development board prior to that, and she's done so much. So thank you, Melanie.
Anyone else? Right. So no one else, we'll move into recess so we can start getting set up for the swearing in.
As has been indicated here tonight, Kevin Thompson, our current assistant, is going to be transitioning into the city manager role and will be the primary representative for the city going forward. With the swearing in, I'm going to take this opportunity to kind of step down from the dais. I'll let Kevin go ahead and kind of assume the role with as part of swearing in the new council, because that's going to be who Kevin works with going forward, obviously. I just want to take this opportunity to congratulate you, Mayor, on a successful reelection for your second term. So congrats, and likewise offer a hearty congratulations to our newest council member, Mark Lasky, as he is going to do his swearing in here shortly. So I wish you both all the best, and I know you'll have lots of fun challenges to take on in the future. And Kevin's going to be a great partner in working with this council. And so I'm going to take a seat in the audience and enjoy the rest of the meeting. So.
Thank you, David. With that, we'll recess at 6:47. chief to get up here too. Move into new business. I-1, council reorganization, council member elects, oath of office, and introductions.
All right, if I can have Councilmember-elects Mark Lasky and Todd Lanes, please join me down here. Probably just do it in this little area. You can please both raise your right hand and repeat after me. I state your name. Do solemnly affirm that I will support and defend the Constitution of the United States.
Do solemnly affirm that I will support and defend the Constitution of the United States.
And the Constitution of the State of California.
And the Constitution of the State of California.
Against all enemies, foreign and domestic.
Against all enemies.
That I will bear true faith and allegiance. To the Constitution of the United States.
To the Constitution of the United States.
And the Constitution of the State of California.
And the Constitution of the State of California.
That I take this obligation freely.
That I take this obligation freely.
Without any mental reservation or purpose of evasion.
Without any mental reservation or purpose of evasion.
And that I will well and faithfully.
And that I will well and faithfully.
Discharge the duties upon which I am about to enter.
Discharge the duties upon which I'm about to enter.
Congratulations. Welcome to council. Welcome back.
Let me be the first to introduce Councilmember Mark Lasky. Thank you for joining us. So this is the embarrassing part. Go ahead and introduce yourself. Tell us all about you, where you're from. All the people that come for you. We have empty chairs until you show up, so I see how we all rate around here.
Good evening, everybody. My name is Mark Lasky, and yes, I'm living here in Cloverdale, and these are all my family and friends. I'd like to thank everybody, all my family and friends who voted for me, and all the ones that didn't. You know who you are. I look forward to, thanks for the introduction. I've met you all and had some conversations, and I'm looking forward to working with the council, moving the city of Cloverdale forward.
Right. I've done the introductions before, so I'm not going to do it again. Right. Let's move on to I-2, council reorganization, the annual selection of the mayor. What we usually do with this is we go around and we ask everyone who they would want or their ideas, and then we make a motion from there. So, Councilmember Lasky, we'll start with you.
The city is moving in a great direction, so I would recommend that Todd stay on as mayor and Brian stay on as vice mayor.
I'll second that, Mr. Mayor.
I'm going to nominate also. I'm going to nominate the current mayor and to be the future mayor, and keep myself also as vice mayor. Reason being, I think we've got a lot of momentum going on here in the city. We've got a lot of big projects going on right now, and I don't want to take a step back. So my nomination is Todd as mayor, and I'll stay on as vice mayor.
I think I would like to nominate Mayor Lands again for mayor due to his experience, and also Vice Mayor Wheeler. I would like to see you as vice mayor again. I think you did an excellent job this last year, and I look forward to working with you both.
Councilmember Walter?
It's unanimous.
Well, here's how this works. You have to make a motion for a nomination for just the mayor's spot for this item, for I-2. So is there anyone that would like to make that?
I'll make that motion.
Second.
And just to clarify, that was a motion for Todd Lands to be mayor.
Okay. I'd like to make a motion for Todd Lands to be mayor of Cloverdale, California.
I second that.
Before we take a vote, I want you accept the nominations.
I would accept the nomination.
Right, perfect.
And I'm going to open up to public comment. Is there anyone that'd like to make any public comments? Seeing none, we'll bring it back.
Just for the record, that was a motion by Morgenstern, seconded by Wheeler. Okay, perfect. And I will go ahead and start with the motioner. Councilmember Morgenstern?
Aye.
Councilmember or Vice Mayor Wheeler?
Aye.
Councilmember Lasky? Aye. Councilmember Wolter?
Aye.
Mayor Lance?
Aye. Passes 5-0. And thank you all for your support in me. Move on to I-3, council reorganization, the annual selection of the vice mayor. Councilmember Lasky, hot seat again.
Yeah, I would like to also, Brian's in a good position. He's doing a great job. I would like to see Brian continue his role as vice mayor. So I make a motion that Brian Wheeler be nominated for vice mayor.
I second that motion.
Great. Brian, you
I accept it.
Thank you.
accept it? All right. Councilmember Walter, any?
Nope, I think that'd be a great selection.
The word is momentum. Today, we've been doing a lot in Cloverdale, and I'm looking forward to next year with you. So let's open to public comment. Anyone? Seeing none, go ahead with the roll call, Michael.
Zoom webinar.
Start with the motioner, Councilmember Lasky.
His first motion. And your second was Councilmember Morgenstern.
Perfect. The vote, Councilmember Lasky.
Aye.
Councilmember Morgenstern.
Aye.
Councilmember Wolter.
Aye.
Vice Mayor Wheeler.
Aye.
Mayor Lance.
Aye. 5-0.
Official. Congratulations to you both.
All right, next is I-4, review and discussion of City Council 2025 Subcommittee Consolidation and Regional Board Committee appointments. Kevin.
Let me get this
Mayor,
presentation.
council members, we have a presentation we're going to run through real quick. But at the last meeting, Mayor Lands asked us to present some ideas on how to consolidate and maybe make more efficient our subcommittee regime that we have. We have a couple ideas. This is just for your discussion. You can certainly suggest otherwise, but we're going to run through what our ideas are, and then at the end, we're going to be asking for your input. So, Mike, you want to?
Yeah, 1 second. All right, I'm just checking to make sure that this presentation's being shared. Is that what? Toby, can you confirm that the presentation's being shared on Zoom?
Zoom webinar.
Can you see it, Gus?
Yes, I can
There we
see
go.
it.
All right, perfect. Just for the record. All right, thank you. Kevin and I are going to tag team this presentation a little bit, so we're going to go back and forth, kind of talking over each other. Sorry that you guys are kind of seeing my screen, which is something we're going to try to fix in 2025, but let me minimize some things. Move some stuff. All right, so this is our current subcommittee list. You're really familiar with it, so I'm not going to go into it too much. But Finance, Admin, Police, Planning, Sustainability, Public Works and Facilities, Joint City School, and Homelessness. It comes up with a very busy schedule. As you can see, this is our meeting schedule. It's kind of hard to see up there since there's so many various colors, but ultimately there's 70 scheduled meetings a year, which is including Planning Commission, so that's what Kevin, myself, David previously would attend 70 official meetings. 58 would be for council and subcommittees, so quite a few. The proposed subcommittees that we're looking at kind of do a little bit of blending of planning sustainability, of consolidating that into infrastructure and administration, and we named them those basically for exactly what they are. Infrastructure is looking more at public works, water, parks, recreation facilities, and the airport, so the infrastructure of the city. Where administration is exactly that, more the finance, planning, police, HR, city manager's office, city clerk, and then joint city school and homelessness. So we're going to go into each one. Whoa. Sorry about that. Really quickly, starting with joint city school. So this is one we've had traditionally for many years. We spoke to the superintendent, and they are requesting that we only do it twice a year. So March and August was the requested dates. We can always schedule special meetings as needed, and we can always reevaluate for the next year or at any point if council deems necessary. One date change we're looking at for consistency, which I'll get into in a little bit, would be from the third Monday to the third Tuesday at 2 instead of 5. Going into homelessness. So we want to keep the subcommittee, but we're thinking of having no scheduled regular meetings and propose an ad hoc for special projects. And I'm going to let Alex and Kevin discuss that in 1 second. We can always have special meetings as needed, and we can reevaluate for 2026 or at any time necessary. Alex, I don't know if you wanted to go into the ad hoc, how that works, but others.
Sure. So an ad hoc committee is a committee that is comprised solely of less than a quorum of the city council. So 2 members, can't have anyone else on it besides those 2 members. And it's for a specific purpose, a limited purpose. So, if there was a specific project the council wanted to, for example, for homelessness to look into, or wanted the committee to, sort of spend 6 months looking into ideas and report back, that's something that could be an ad hoc committee. But an ad hoc committee can't be something that just continues on, that has sort of an ongoing jurisdiction, such as homelessness in general, where, you're continuing to be working on different types of issues, forever, or theoretically at least forever.
All right. Moving on to the administrator. Did you have any more to add on that, Kevin?
Yeah, so the Homeless Committee has been working on one particular item that we would like the flexibility to meet quicker than a 48-hour Brown Act meeting. And we can, if the council likes this idea, we'll come back at the first meeting in January to officially form the ad hoc committee and appoint members and discuss what it's for. But we also thought it was important to keep the Homeless Advisory Committee going, not eliminated or consolidated into another subcommittee. That way, later on, because there are other community members that are comprised of that group as well. So we thought we can work on this ad hoc item, but keep the homeless committee. So later on, if we want to, have some meetings, special meetings, as Mike mentioned, we still have the ability to do that.
For clarification, Kevin mentioned this briefly, but the ad hoc committee is not subject to the Brown Act, and so it provides a lot of flexibility for the 2 members to really, work on something together independently and not have to be worried of, if we want to have a quick conversation, we got to schedule a meeting and notice it and all of that stuff.
And then going to the administration section, similar to the previous finance, admin, and police, just expanded. So it's kind of some of the things that we already have subheadings on in that meeting, but it would include staffing needs, city manager office, city clerk things. But mostly the new development would be planning, community development updates would go to that. The way we kind of broke both administration and infrastructure up, you can see it's kind of by department. So administration handles the finance department, the planning and community development department, police, HR, CMO, city clerk. Well, infrastructure is more exactly that. Like I said, infrastructure, public works, water, parks and rec, facilities, and the airport. The frequency of these 2 would be monthly. And one of the differences that we're looking at or that we're proposing is Tuesdays at 2 basically become meeting days. It's convenient to say, but it's convenient to also create agendas. And I'm going to get into that here under the benefits. So consistency, staffing, scheduling, the frequency, and some breaks. And I'm going to go through these really quickly, but just so that we understand where staff is coming from with our proposal. As you can see, most of these are same days. They're Tuesdays now, because before we had first Monday. Sometimes it's the third Wednesday, or it gets kind of confusing, and it gets really confusing to create agendas and get noticing out and get the different, Brown Act requirements from my office. And this would help consolidate that, and would be significant time savings. As you can see, moving it back to 2 also helps with staff. Our office, or the council, or City Hall is closed from 12 to 1, and often we're rushing back to get the room set up, things like that. This just makes it a little more convenient starting at 2, so that it's not interfering with anything else that's going on at City Hall or the closure for lunch breaks. So there'd be basically a meeting week, and then there'd be agenda week, and it would kind of just go like that to be a lot more consistent as far as when you are getting agendas, when you are having meetings. There would be 16 less meetings by doing it this way, and that's still having infrastructure and administration meeting monthly, which really supports the 2-touch rule. It's something that was tough when one of them is every other month, or traditionally Public Works and Facilities for the last couple of years has been every month, but prior to that it was every other. But to make sure that we get that 2-touch rule, which is in our governance manual, we can follow it a little bit better with this idea. And then, as I spoke about the joint city, school, and homelessness, it'd be brought back a little bit as far as meeting frequency. And then one big topic on here that, again, this is just a proposal. You guys are going to be able to give us all kinds of ideas and decisions on, but something that we've had interest expressed from multiple council members and staff is looking at potentially having July be a relative meeting-free month because of the way the holiday lands, and also it's convenient based on where it is in the middle of the year to play catch-up on the previous 6 months and prepare for the next 6. And also, with our limited staffing and council, it's a good time for staff to know when to take vacations because the way that it's broken up right now, it's been really limiting for staff to be able to either not attend or end up canceling meetings because we don't have the either quorums with council, or we don't have because it's the middle of summer, and that's just an option. It's been expressed by council, so we wanted to capture that in here as a potential option. So as you can see, currently, this is both excluding planning commission because council members don't have to go to that. That one will remain the same. But basically on the left is what we have currently. Our proposed is on the right. The main difference being planning and sustainability is getting merged into the administration.
In the formation of the ad hoc for homeless.
Correct.
So those are really the two changes.
And the next part is regional boards. So I don't know, it's up to you, Mayor, if you wanted to have a discussion on this before we move on.
Right here, and welcome to it. Yeah, so this is where you kind of give us an idea of what you're interested in and what you think of the ideas that they're proposing, kind of all in one, inclusive on this. So these are the subcommittees that we do. As you can see, there was 5 different subcommittees. And so we're also talking about reorganizing. So it's reorganizing plus kind of giving an idea of what you're interested in at the same time so that we kind of can feel out how it will play out for everyone. So any ideas on what's being proposed?
Well, I would probably be interested in the Sonoma Clean Power.
Okay. On the regional board?
Yeah.
Okay.
I think,
how about,
yeah, for now, if
so
we can just stick to the
right now with
subcommittees.
these ones right here?
Yeah, I see that. I like the way it's consolidated, just more of a, yeah.
Morgan's turn.
I have a question. Okay, we're consolidating them, but then there's really kind of, the main ones are going to be infrastructure and administration, and so that means there's only going to be like 4 people that get included in those.
Well, and you also have the homelessness committee and the school committee.
Yeah, but I mean, those don't meet very often.
Yeah, we were thinking frequency. One option with that, with the proposed, because that was something we thought about, was that the folks that are on infrastructure and administration, because those are doing a lot of the heavy lifting on the subcommittee, that alternate person may be more heavily into the regional boards. But that's just an option, depending on how you guys want to consolidate it. But something we were thinking about too.
That's 3 or 4 more meetings as well right there.
And I think with the homelessness, whoever gets appointed to that, knowing that if we go with this proposed idea, that ad hoc is a very likely outcome, that those people are likely going to be very involved in that. So it's going to be likely way more meetings than the two subcommittees proposed, but
So your idea
there's
is-
options.
Your idea out of this, you like how it is better, or do you like the new style?
Well, the new style I like, but I just feel like, because I want to be on the home list, but I also feel like that doesn't meet that often and it doesn't do that much. So I'd also like to be on either infrastructure or administration because I want to get more involved.
Mm-hmm.
So it just seems like there's not enough positions for all 5 of us.
Okay.
That's just what.
Regional boards pop up as well.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you on that. Got it. Vice Mayor.
I like the homelessness, the way it's got set up right now, but the only thing on homelessness, and I know we've got that project going on and the ad hoc on that, but I don't know who else has interest, but myself and Councilmember Morgenstern are hot and heavy in that right now. So I know when it comes up to doing the final choosing of which ones you want to do, that's one I definitely want to stay on, and I believe she does too. We just got, like I said, the word of the day is momentum. We've got a lot of momentum going on.